this computer is what I did. So is that going to be, because the reason I did that is because it's saying that with so many people using Zoom, they are finding that it's taking like up to 72 hours to process videos. Do y'all do any kind of saving the videos that y'all do?
I have never messed with saving the videos, so
Okay.
the only way we ever done it through school was through a different program.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we'll see how this works. Hopefully this will work okay. And if not, then we'll try the Zoom cloud next week. So I don't know. So we'll just see how it goes. So we've got 12 people on tonight, so that's exciting. I tried to send out the video or the email to everybody, all like 100 and some people, just to make sure everybody was getting it, because some people had said that they hadn't gotten the email and everything. So so I just went ahead and sent it out to everybody. So who knows how many more will jump on and all. Let's see. Okay, so Paul, okay. Very good. All right. So I thought, do you guys want to go back over the alphabet? Does everybody feel like they're good? Those of you, I can see your picture, just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down or talk or whatever if you're good on that. Or if we want to just kind of review it, just so that you can like kind of warm up your hands a little bit. So Amy's giving me a thumbs up. Let's see. All right, well, let's go ahead and we'll just go through it, and then we'll go from there and we'll start on our words. All right, so we've got, so we're gonna start with our A, and then we got B and C. So hopefully from the video I did, I was trying to show all different angles and why not to do it a certain way and this and that. And then D, and the more you, and E, the more you like practice spelling the words, the faster you'll get at it. And then F, and like I said, there's F and there's 9, but it's okay if you do a 9 instead of an F, all is not lost. F, and then G, and then H, I, and J, a little jelly jar, and K. K is your tricky one. And then L, M, go back a little bit, M, N. I have a friend, O. I have a friend who is in the program, I believe at UNCG, and she said that when they come in to do a test for their alphabet, that they have to sing the alphabet song along with it. And whatever speed they're going at is the speed they have to keep at. And so if you're singing LMNOP, you've got to be able to spit it out that quick. And she was like, so I sing it really slow. I was like, yeah, I bet I probably would have to. So anyways, so O, and then P. P kind of feels awkward. That's one of those ones that you feel like you're just pulling on your arm because you have to put it at such a weird angle. But P, and then Q, and then R, S, T, then U, V, W, and X, Y, and Z. So if you just like sing the alphabet song in your head, see how fast you can go with it. You could really challenge yourself. I don't know that I could do this, but you could go backwards as well and start with like Z, Y, X, W, and I mean, I'd really have to, that really challenges my MS brain. But anyway, so you could do it that way if you want as well. Okay. Let's see, I'm trying to see if everyone else, there's a message on here. Okay. All right, so the words that we have for this week, like I said, you're not always going to sign every word, but for all intents purposes, for a beginner, you want to go ahead and just learn all the words. And then, as you get more familiar with it, you'll see that you'll leave off certain words. And it just depends on who you're talking to and what the purpose is that you're talking about. So if you're in a classroom, you're gonna want to say every word that you're saying. But if you are just trying to help someone, then you can just use just the main words that you need. And like I said last week, we were explaining the difference between what I use is pigeon signed, not signed English. It's just pigeon sign language, where you're just using the important words, versus American Sign Language. That true American Sign Language flips your words around into a totally different word order. So you've got, instead of saying, I see the red ball, you're going to say, ball red, see me. Or you might say, ball red, me see. So it's just a totally different language structure that makes it really difficult for typically hearing English speakers to use. And I don't know how they do it in other languages, but that's how it is in American Sign Language. So just be careful using, saying I know ASL, because I wouldn't say I know ASL. I understand it and I try to use it, but I'm definitely not fluent in it. But for the purpose of saying I know American Sign Language, yes. It's just, some people can be like, oh, well, you can go talk to this deaf person, and they might say, they'll correct you and say, you're not using ASL, and just know that you know what they mean. And then you can say, well, what I mean is I'm just using the English language instead of Spanish, or something like that. All right, so I've got all our words in alphabetical order. I threw in a couple extras because when I was talking and recording the video, I threw in a couple words, and so I thought, oh, I better add them in there. And it took me so long because, like I said, the copy of the signs, the one I had before, I threw it away. I don't even have it anymore. But it came from The Joy of Signing. And so some of the signs would have these type signs, and some of the signs were other signs. And I said, I need it to be all consistent. So I redid both sheets. And I'm the old-fashioned cut and paste person, so it took a while. But anyways, so all right, so we have the word am. Now you'll see, if you look at your paper, they've got am and are. They don't show the difference. You have to read the description, I believe. Yes, in the description, it tells you to change your letter. So, but for am, you're just taking the letter A and putting it at your chin and pulling it out a little bit. So, if someone's being defiant, like if you've got a child, because I've got a 17-year-old that is all the time saying, I am, then you're going to say something like, I am, you're going to pull it out really hard and firm and further than just a am, so that is the great thing about sign language, is you can put a lot of expression in it and a lot of just force, and but then you can also be really sweet and lively and that kind of thing with it too. So that's the cool thing.
So I got a question real quick for it.
Yeah.
If he's saying I am being defiant, does he do the I and then am? Or does just that?
It depends on the user. So like if I'm saying it, it depends on who I'm talking to. For y'all, I would go ahead and say that I am. I would. Okay. If my child is deaf, he's probably just going to go, I am. He's just going to say the am, or he might even just spell am, or he might do a totally different sign that I'm not aware of, to show that, I am doing that. Or like he might do, I'm doing the same, like I am doing that you're just telling me that I'm supposed to do. But if you are signing to like your students in your class, or if you are talking to just a deaf person, I would use the I am. Or you can just point to yourself and just say me am, which I know that feels weird. So like I said, when I was first learning, my first few years, probably even when I was teaching, I always used I. Now I don't use I, but I'm also not in a school setting. you know, and it does go out to deaf people. And, you know, I mean, it just depends. It just depends. But yeah, I mean, I would go ahead and use the I, just, you know, just to get yourself used to, you know, to sign all the words. But like I said, yeah, that one's a weird one that typically you wouldn't do I, you typically wouldn't do am. But if you're trying to say I am, how else are you going to sign it? Like I said, there might be some other some other sign that's out there that means that I'm not aware of. You know, it's kind of like you going to a foreign state, you know, a place that you have never been, and they have this one word that means something, and you're going, what in the world are they talking about? You know, so it's something that they know that you're not familiar with. It's kind of the same thing. Does that make sense? Okay, because it can be confusing. So, but yeah, I would go ahead and use it. Now, be careful. I think I said before, be careful and not to put your thumb under your chin. Because if you put your thumb under your chin and pull it out, then you're saying not, like N-O-T, not, not. And there's other ways to do not, but it's like not, refuse, won't, don't, and this can also be used for not or for don't. So just know those things, that it's kind of like the Y and the I, you know, being sure that you don't leave your thumb out when you're saying an I, so they don't get confused thinking you're saying a Y instead of an I. Same thing with am. You want to be sure it's an A, and it's a closed A, you know, that's there on the chin. All right, and then it does say in the example, no, in the, oh, I can't think of the word, explanation. I was trying to think of explanation. It does say in the explanation, it tells you for the word are that you're going to make an R, and you're going to do the same thing that you did with am, and you're just going to put it out. You're just going to put it out. Are. You know, you are, you know, like you are my friend. You know, that kind of thing. I'm going to pull this computer away a little bit so I can see if that'll help. Then I won't have to stand up as much. Okay. So you've got am and are, and then you've got be, like I will be right back, or he will be your friend, or something like that. So you've got the letter B, and you put it here at your chin, and you go out. And this is another one. This is how I learned breakfast, was on the side. When I look it up now, I see that it's like eat, that breakfast, you use the sign eat and morning. I've never seen that used before, I'm gonna be honest. So I'm telling you that so you're careful. You know, if you go out, it's B. Over here is breakfast. And if you take the letter B and you hit it to your chin, like really forcefully, then you're swearing. Then you're swearing with the B word. I've said, oh, I'm not telling people what the cuss word is, but just be warned. That's the simple, easy way to tell you, to not be real, you know, like pulling your hand up and hitting it against your chin, because then you are swearing. But if you're saying, I will be right back, and you accidentally do that, they're not going to think that you're swearing at them. I don't think so. I think you'll be okay. But, all right, so then you've got boy and you've got male. So both of them, like I said in the video, you're just, you know, going like that. It's like you're grabbing hold of your hat. It's a boy, a boy. And now he's got it out. I don't think I do out. I don't think I go out like you're grabbing hold and like running your fingers across the brim. I really think I just do boy. It's like maybe doing it this way is like a formal, you know, if you learned Spanish, you had the formal way to say something and the informal. I think it's the same kind of thing. So I always just do the quick version of just like grabbing the hat, boy versus boy. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's always gotten me by. So either way of those two, you are fine. And remember, when going over these words, practicing, remember that you can practice spelling them as well. Oh, and you can even practice spelling them backwards, you know, just to kind of get your fingers going with spelling. All right, and then you've got, oh, so before I move on to church, so you can see if a child is learning to read, or even, or they're in school, let's say, or whatnot, and you're saying, we're going to talk about which circle to bubble in. Do you bubble in the male or do you bubble in the female? So if you're doing boy and they know this is boy, but they don't know that this is a sign for male, that's going to be a problem for them, because that one sign means two different words. So that's where sign language can be a problem in reading and knowing exactly which word you mean, because both those words mean the same thing. It's just, just a difference in the word itself. But it just means that a boy means a younger person, versus male means it doesn't matter what age you are, you're a male. So, but if you haven't had that explained to you, you can see that could be a problem. You're having to spell those words to explain that to a child. So anyways, all right, so then we've got church. So we always say that the church is built on the rock. It's the foundation. So you've got your fist as the foundation, right? And then you've got your C on it. And however is comfortable for you, I do it out. But if that doesn't feel right and this way feels right, putting it this way, either one is right. So don't feel like, oh, I have to put it this way. But like I said before, like doing it, where you're trying to make sure the person sees that it's a C, that's going to be really hard on your arms. So just be sure that you're nice and relaxed on it, so you don't wind up hurting yourself down the road.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Because I know that you talked about it last week, but since I'm a lefty, when I do the C, like if the other person is looking at me, it doesn't look like a C. It looks like a
right.
Other way around.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
It does not matter. It does not
Okay.
matter. Either way, it's going to be there. I'm doing it with my left hand. And so to you, I guess it looks like a C that's up on the chalkboard. Because if you're doing it with your right hand, that's where it really looks, your C looks backwards. Well, when I'm looking at it.
Right.
Probably not when you're looking at it. I don't know. I would have to turn my, anyways. So yes, either you're fine. You do it the exact same way. You're just doing it with the opposite hand. Yes, that's a good question. Good question. Yep. All right. And then we've got person. Now, there's two different ways you can do person. So I'm going to stand up because it's showing it here. And if I sit down, you're just seeing it here. So it's person. So you're just kind of resting your hands next to your chest and you're just doing person. So this can be person. This can be the ER ending. Like if you are trying to say a teach, then you have to put that person with it. Otherwise, the person's going to think you're talking about teaching. Even like you've got educator. So educator is the E to a D, and then you have to do the with it. Okay, so that's why this can mean a person. Like I saw a person walking down the street, you're going to do a person. Now, how I learned it was with P's, and I did person. But this is the way to do it when you're doing just regular old American Sign Language. No matter what word structure or sentence structure you're using, is person. So forget that I showed you with the P's. Go with just the bodies that you're making, the body down that you're showing. Let me see if there's anything else that it says. So yeah, so I put under there that it was like for ER. But yeah, and then something that I was showing too on the video is trying to make sure that when you are signing, that your arms are kind of relaxed at your side, because they will move all over the place. But if you're doing stuff just right here, just relaxing your arms so that you're not like out here, unless you're trying to show something that's big, but just kind of try to feel nice and relaxed so you're not stressing any other part of your body. And then you've got friend. And I think I was saying in the video that it does not matter which finger you start to hook with. So left and right, whichever one it feels more comfortable with is fine. So your friend. And really, if you're doing it really fast, you're not really hooking them. you're almost just like touching your fingers. You know what I mean? I mean, so if I'm interpreting, I'm probably just going to do like tap tap. I'm probably not going to do true X's and do XX. Unless I'm saying that they're a really strong friend, then I'm going to do like that. Like if I'm talking about two people in the Bible or something, and that they were just really, really strong, connected, best friends, and you couldn't break the bond, you know, then you're going to hook them to show that. But if you're just saying, I saw my friend at the store yesterday, you're just going to do friend. So don't feel like, you know, you have to make sure that you got the X and that you do it both and that you're being, you know, friend, friend. Either way is good. And then we've got girl. We were talking about, you know, I talked on the video about how the boy is because, you know, of hats. And same thing with the girls, when sign language was created, you know, they used to wear the bonnets where the lace or the strap would come down here. And so that's why it's an A. And it's more like a thumbs up A instead of your closed A like am. It's your open A, where you're starting here at your ear and coming down and just following that jaw. And you don't have to, you know, don't feel like you have to just go all the way down. You can just do girl. You can do just like right there. That'll get it. That's the same thing. All right. Does anybody have any questions so far? Am I going too fast? No? Okay. All right. So I put the next one in. It has higher, and I apologize. Typically when I make the list, I typically put in there, you'll see like the one for next week. This one doesn't have it, but I should have put it in there. When it has more than one meaning on a sign, like this one has hire, employ, invite, and guest, I usually would put like guest, and then I would put a slash and show each one of those so that you know that it means, you know, all of those words. But I totally wasn't thinking about it this week. So anyways, so you've got, the reason I showed you this one was because I was talking about something and somehow, oh, it was you're welcome. It was you're welcome. And I was showing that this can also be the sign for invite and guest, and it can also be, you know, hire someone. It's crazy how just one sign can mean so many different things. So that's where it can be so confusing for a deaf person if they're having a hard time following the rest of the sentence that goes along with the word. So, but yeah, so you've got hire, you've got guest. Now, guest, I don't know that I said this, guest, you're supposed to put the body with it. So this is hire, invite, like you're inviting someone to a party, you're inviting them to Zoom, you're inviting them to your house, whatever, invite, but your invite, and when you're doing guest, you're going to do the invite plus the person, because you are talking about a person instead of a verb, instead of like inviting someone or instead of hiring someone. All those are verbs, whereas you're talking about a noun, so you have to make it a little bit different. And I guess that's the reason for it, because like teach is the verb, whereas you add the person with it and it becomes a noun. So plus it does change the word. But anyways, so let's see. And then we've got I. So that one's simple. You just put it there in the middle of your chest, and it's just I. And like I said, you can point to yourself, and that's the sign for me. But it's kind of like someone who doesn't really know when to use I and when to use me. You know how kids really get confused on that. So, you know, you can use either one interchangeably, I feel like. When I sign songs and I'm talking about me or myself, I'll do it this way, just because I'm talking about like me. Like if I'm saying all of me, like take all of me, God, you know, I'll do this and then all and give it to God, just because it kind of looks prettier than doing I and all and here or me and all in here. It just looks nicer. It's like you're showing all of this, God, I'm giving it all to you. Here you go. So it just makes it a little bit more symbolic, maybe. I don't know. So anyways, so there's, just know that there are different ways that you can do it. All right, and so then we've got is, so I'm going to sit down for a second. So is, you've got, just like we did am, and we did be, and we did are, you've got, I've lost my word already. You've got is, it just went away. So you're putting the I, instead of putting the A there, you put your finger up and you're doing is. And, you know, be careful not to stick your thumb up, because then you're doing like, I mean, it feels kind of better to do it that way, but then you're kind of doing, I don't know what you're doing. So is. Let's see. And then you've got love. Love is, you know, just a love and hug. Both of them are the same sign. Well, I guess if you say hug, never mind, I'm wrong. Hug is you're going to grab the arms like you're hugging someone. Whereas love, you're making two S closed fists and you're saying love. And it doesn't matter which arm is over the other one. Whichever way feels more comfortable is good. So you got love. And then we went over I love you. And I don't know if I did put that in at the end. So we'll keep going on with what the order of them. Let's see. And then we've got, see, here's another one where I should have, like where it says my on the word list, I should have put my, mine. Oh, I don't know that I agree with that. And it says own and personal. I guess it depends on how you're using the word own, and personal. It depends on how you're using it too. But so they are saying that this is the sign, just a very simple closed number 5 instead of an open 5. You're closing it and you're just putting it on your chest, which makes perfect sense. You know, like I probably automatically go, oh, that's mine. Hold on. You know, that's mine. My name. Like they said own and personal. And see, this is one of those sign things, you know, own is own, like it's my own. Whereas like to say that I own something, now I think that's a different sign. And I can't think what it is right now. Anyways, so, and then personal, see, I've always done it with a P, but see, I was taught some signed English, so that's why it has that P at the beginning, was like personal. So I'm gonna have to look into those two. I'm gonna look them up to see what I can find out on those two, because that's interesting. Okay, and then name, okay, has name, called, and named. So there again, I should have put that. I really need to fix this paper. On the name, they've got 3 different words that go with it, but it's the same sign. And here again, whichever hand is more comfortable is the one you put on top. Typically, if you are a right-hander, you're going to, because that's the one you're moving, that's the one you're gonna put on top. So somebody was asking, I can't remember if that was Amy that was asking, that is a lefty, you know, that you put the left hand on top and tap it. So I would just say my name. I wouldn't tap it a whole lot. I would just do my name is and then spell it. So my name. So, okay. And then they've got called. So like you could say that she is called, you know, Steph instead. So you could say she is called Steph, and it's just a synonym. So name, called, or she is named, you know, Stephanie, you know, or whatnot. But then there are other calls too. There's, you know, like if you're calling someone on a phone, you know, there you've got a Y and you're just holding up the phone like the old-fashioned phone if you're calling someone. If you are calling out to someone, then you're yelling out. So this is a sign for scream, yell, calling out. It's all it is a letter C. And these are not on here, but it's just called out. You're calling out. I called for you the other day, which means that if you're saying that you yelled out to them. And then you can also say that you're called, like God is calling you, and you can do that you're called. So it depends on which way you're using the word. That's where sign language can get kind of confusing, because you have to stop and think, I could do call, but that's not the way they're talking. They're telling me to call on the phone, so I'm going to call. They're telling me to go outside and call for my brother, so I'm going to call. They're saying that God is calling me to do something, so I can do that he's calling me to do something. Or you can do he's calling. And this can also be admit. So see, that's where sign language can get just woo. But I mean, it's a good little challenge. It's a good little challenge. So all right, and then we've got no. So we've got no. No is a cute little one. No. And like I said, you can have fun with that one. It's like I was saying earlier, where your son is saying, I am. He could just go, no. Where you really put attitude in that, and you tell someone no. You're telling them nicely, no, I'm not going to do that. Or you can say no, or you can do no, to someone if they've ticked you off, or you're having to really, because they don't want to listen. So no. And so it's almost like you're grabbing them and pinching them and pulling them away, like, it's almost like that. So that's a good one. That's a good one that you get to use sometimes teaching. So, all right. So then we've got please, oh goodness, please, enjoy, gratify, like, I don't agree with that one, like, pleasure, and willing. That's interesting. So this is a sign for please, is what we've got on our list. And like I said, it's going in the opposite direction, or it's going in the direction that your hands are pointing. Let's go with that. That's the easiest way to make it. Because I've had people say clockwise, counterclockwise, and I'm like, I have to think about that too hard to figure that one out. So it's going the way your fingers are pointing. So if you are doing it with your left hand, it's going to be going the way that your hand is going, please. And really, it's not like you have to make this big circle or rub your shirt or make your shirt have all these pills on it because you've rubbed it too much. It's just a little thing, just a little please. Please. Unless you're telling someone, please, then you're really, going slow and you're putting a lot of emphasis into it. So then it's like, please, and your body's going to kind of match that and everything instead of just a please. If you're just saying to someone, please do that. Or can you please give me something? It's just a little please. Okay, does that all make sense? Is there any that we need to go back to? All right. Like I said, it's got enjoy on there. And I guess you could use that. Now, I learned enjoy to do with both, is what I learned. So, and yes, they're going in opposite directions. But I learned enjoy like that. And then gratify, I've never learned. I guess you could still do please or enjoy. And then like I learned totally different, which I don't think, no, that's not on our, I think that's in a couple weeks. So we'll just wait. And pleasure, I guess you do that, or the enjoy. And then willing, that's really interesting. I have never seen that as far as you're willing. I would probably do I'm willing, or I would even probably do I'm able, quite honestly. If you're willing, you're able, you can. That's more how I would take that. So that's interesting that they have it on there like that, with that sign. But anyways, all right. And then you've got, it says quiet, calm, peaceful, serene, silent, still, and tranquil. And they have peaceful. That's interesting. All right. And they just have it with one hand, with one, like a SH, sh, up to their mouth. I've always done two, but they've got it with one. And then both hands going out. I've always done it with two, almost like you're making a triangle at your mouth and then both hands go out. And all you're doing, does that make sense? It's almost like you're following, it's almost like you're making a triangle right here on your body. And you're just going down, just making a little tent, a little top to your tent there is all you're doing, the top to your triangle. It's like you stop right there at your chest. And now, unless, like I said, unless you're saying, you know, very forcefully to be quiet, you know, then you're quiet. Then your hands are going to go further than just stopping right here, you know, quiet. You know, and that's where you've got an unruly kid and they just don't want to be quiet, and you just tell them to be quiet and put that face, there you go, that's right. She's like, get ready for that because you're going to get that. So it's just all in the concept or the context of how you're using it. So yeah, so you can, you know, you can do this for quiet, calm. I know the sign calm, but this is like calm down, but it can also be a calm feeling. So anyways, and then serene, silent, still, yeah, still, and then tranquil. I've never used this sign for tranquil, but I don't know another sign for it. I guess I've just never had to sign the word tranquil. So, and then you've got thanks, thank you, and you're welcome. Now, I know a lot of people do that, so you are not wrong if you do thank you and you're welcome. You can do both the same. I like to do a little different just to kind of show the difference. You know what I mean? Like if someone comes up to me and says, thank you, I'm going to do you're welcome. But you can also do the same thing back. So let's say Rose says, thank you, and I say, you're welcome. So it's the same thing, even though you're saying two different expressions. So either way, you're not going to be wrong, but I think I showed the you're welcome. Yeah, I put the same one down there. Anyways, okay, and then we've got was. What? I don't know why I said it like that. Was. And here again, it's not a word that you typically use, but for right now, you know, there's two different ways you can do it. So you can start with a W at the side of your face, and you're just going back to an S. You're just going WS, almost like you're doing Winston-Salem. And the reason why is because it's something in the past, and this is a sign for past, it's a sign for before, and so you're putting something in the past. You know, he was at the store. He was there. She was going to the store. She was in her house, that kind of thing. So anything that's in the past is going to go backwards, typically. It's like English, it doesn't always follow the same rule, but anyway, so you've got was. And then you've got were. So were goes from your W at the side of your face to an R behind you. Were. And I was going to say, you can use just this for was and were as well, because it's in the past. Oh yeah, I was before, you know, I was going to go to the store. I was. So you can use that as well. And I hadn't thought about putting that on there. And then you've got would. And like I said, I don't remember the last time I've signed any of those words, but just so you feel comfortable saying the things that you want to say and feeling like you're saying something for each word that you're saying, you know, you've got future. Okay, so you've got the letter F and you're going from your ear and you're going forward. So that's the future. So since would is in the future, you're going from a W to a D. So you've got would and you're going forward. And this is, I don't know why I didn't put will in there, but this is a sign for will. And this can also be used for future. So you're just taking your hand from your ear and going forward. So you will. I will. Future. I'm trying to think if there's any other word. I think those are the only two I can think of for that sign. I should have put that one in there. I might need to add that to the sheet, or and you know what? It might be on next week's. My notebook's over there, so it could be that it's there instead. All right, so we had no, And so the opposite, we have yes. So all you're doing, and you feel kind of, I always feel silly signing yes. I don't know why. I guess I just feel kind of dorky signing it, but it's like, here's your neck, here's your head, and it's going, you know, it's doing the same thing as the same thing. So if you're in conversation with someone and, you know, you can't remember, oh gosh, how do I sign yes? Just, you're good just to do the traditional gesture is the same. So yeah, yes. All right. And I guess I'll share this. So when, you know, when you're talking to someone and they're telling you something, and sometimes you get so into the conversation, you're just like, you're nodding your head like, yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of times deaf people, when they're having a conversation with each other, they'll take a Y and they'll put it down and they'll go like this. And so this is a sign for, oh, I see, I understand. So all you're doing is just moving it just ever so slightly is all you're doing. And it's like, oh, it's the same thing as you sitting there nodding your head with your friend of, oh, wow, okay, yeah, 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 I understand what you're saying, I understand. It's like letting the other person know without interrupting that you're following along with what they're saying. It's just so they don't have to go, are you listening to me or what? Are you paying attention? I mean, what's going on in your mind? And that it's just a way of them, you know, I can't tell you how many times I have to say that to both my son and my husband. Are you listening to what I just said? You know, instead that I need to teach them to go, and that's like what it is, So it means all those different things. That is also not on there. I don't know if it's in the book or not. So I'll have to check that one out. I'm going to add another word there. All right. And then we've got you. So you is very easy. You're just pointing to the person that you're talking to, you. And here again, you're not going to be up here going you. You're just going to stand here and go you. You. You is who I have decided on, or I want you to come with me. I want you. So you're just going to put your hand comfortably at your side and point. And then we've got you're welcome. Now, like I said, you can do thank you and you're welcome just the same. I was taught to do like the thank you and then to add this. Like this is saying you're welcome. It's almost like you're making this. It's almost like, you know, when you know, you got your belly here, it's almost like you're putting a belly up here at your chin or something, or making yourself have this big double chin, you know, so you're welcome. You're welcome. But, you know, if this is what you remember, you're fine, because that is also used. And then we've got I love you. The whole sign we were showing is with the I love you hand. And like I said, I can't get that. There it goes. And the reason, like I said, we were saying that you've got the letter I, and then you've got the letter L for love, and then you've got the Y for you, the word you, and so you're just putting them all together. And I think I was showing on the video, you can say, I really love, like you can shake it like, I love you, I love you. And then you can make an R on there, and that's, I really love you. So you can do, I love you, I love you, I love you. You can do, I really love you with your R. You can really get your fingers all twisted around. So, all right, so these are some of the phrases that that we have. We've got be quiet, which is still just, you know, be quiet. You don't have to put your be in there. It's just be quiet. And you can make it as forceful or as nice and easy as you need it. You know, be quiet or be quiet, you know, however you need it to be. And then you've got the phrase with all the different words that we've learned. You've got I love you, or you've got I and love and you. And then you've got your thank you is a phrase, and then you're welcome. So I like to try to look in the words and see, okay, is there any little phrases that you put the two words together and that they create? And then look at sentences. And I'm crazy for making all kinds of crazy sentences up that don't make sense, but you're throwing the words in, so you're practicing a lot of, you know, please know my name is a boy, and my friend is church. You know, I mean, I'll just do that just to practice all the different words. But I did make some sentences that do make sense at the bottom. So we can go through those. And if you want, I could even we could quiz, and I could throw out a word and see, okay, what's the sign for this, and give you so many seconds, and okay, what do y'all think the sign is? And you know, it's kind of up to y'all what you want to do, but we can go through the sentences. Do y'all want to do that? Because we've got 30 minutes. So, okay. All right. So we've got, are you a boy or girl? Now I have seen that you can just use this for be, for are, for is. I think that's it. So instead of putting an A and a B and an R, you can just do it this way. I have seen that as well. I did not put that in there, but I know I have seen it that way. But you have to be careful, because when you do this and you're running your finger kind of up your chin, this means true. And doing that can also mean true. So it's, you know, there again, you got to know the person has to know the context that you're using it in. So, all right. So are you a girl? We'll start with that. So we've got, and you want to put a question look on your face, are you a girl? See, and I didn't use the word a in there. So you can throw it in there with just an a, or you can just leave it out. So are you a girl? Right. And then are you a boy? Are you a boy? So you can, and then you can switch it around and say you are a boy. See, and all I did there was say you boy. And I'm not saying, hey, you boy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you are a boy. You are a girl. Same thing, and it's understood. So, but if you want to throw in the words just so you can remember what they are, you can do that. And like I said, when you're communicating with someone, you can put the words in there or leave them out. It's just how comfortable you are. And either way, you're right. So, all right. And then, are you my friend? So we've got, are you my friend? Yep. So, and then you can switch around and say, you are my friend. And then you can say, you are my friend. Go, Julie. Go, Julie. Julie's up there you are my friend. I was woo, that's right. She's got it. She's got it. You know, so eventually we'll learn other signs where. So you could say, where is my friend? Or where did my friend go? And, you know, so we just kind of build a little bit each week. Do you love me? Now, we do not have the word do on here. So whenever you see something and you go, oh, we haven't learned that, just know that you can spell it. And I think I showed that to y'all last week. It's kind of hard to see it with the camera. But to go, if you're right-handed, you're going from your left side of your body to the right side, and you're just wiggling your fingers as you move it, and that means finger spell. That means that you're spelling something. So it means spell or finger spell. Either one, they're both the same. Now, if you're going with your left hand, you're going to start at the right side of your body, and you're going to go this way. And let me ask y'all, was it confusing for those who watched the video? I played it back some, and it was all backwards, you know, like my son's door was on the other side, and I was oh gosh, how is this looking to them? I wonder if it was confusing.
No, it looked just fine.
It did? Okay.
Yeah, because the door is over your left shoulder.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the way it looked on the video.
It did?
Yes, on my video, the one I watched, it all looked just like it does right now.
I may have had a dyslexic moment. I'm not dyslexic, but I may have had a moment then.
All right, we all have them.
No. Yeah. Anyway, very good, very good. All right. So with the word do, with D-O, you can always spell it. Okay, so we'll talk about the word do. I think I should have pulled it while I was standing up. I'm pretty sure do is next week. So you can just spell do. And anyway, sometimes you've got songs where they go do, 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 you know, and so that's what you're doing there with those songs. I just love those songs. I'm kidding, I really don't. But anyways, there's a song, if you listen to contemporary Christian music, there's a group, Big Daddy Weave, that sings The Only Name. And I think we're singing that one at church next week. And everyone jokes with me because he says la la la. So I'm sitting there going la 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 la, and I'm like, oh, could they not have come up with a different line? Did they just run out of things to say? I feel like I'm on Sesame Street doing la la. I'm like, oh, you know, but I'm like, can't we as a band, can we come up with a different line and stick something else? They're like, no, we're doing. I'm like, okay, fine, la la la. So anyways, but so do you love me? So you've got do you love me? All right, and then you could do yes, I love you. You could even do that back. I don't have that as a sentence. So you've got yes, I or me, whichever one, love you. And you could say yes, I do. You could do it that way.
Did
So
you also do that sign that you did this?
yes, and you can also do I love you. Yep, you could. So you could do yes, you could do yes, I love you. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, my screen just went blank and I panicked for a minute going, oh gosh, didn't I set it for 2 hours? Oh no. So I've got this crazy reminder that likes to come up there. I'm like, oh, okay. So yes, you could do yes, you know, I love you, or you could do it out. It's kind of like shorthand versus longhand. You know, it just depends on, you know, do you really want to emphasize that love, you know, or me or something, you know, so just depends on.
Maybe sometimes when I'm talking to my husband, yeah, I love you.
Yeah, I love you. Exactly. Yeah, you're kind of on the poop list tonight. So yes, I love you. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we were there a couple nights ago. So yes, I completely understand. So let's see. Then we did I am a boy, I'm a girl. So you can do, I think we did you are a girl or boy. Okay, so you've got I am, if you want to put your A in there, you can, a boy, or you've got I am a girl. And same with male and female. It's the same thing, a female and a male. So let's see. All right, then I love my church. So here I wouldn't do the I love you because you're changing that you at the end. So I would say, you know, that I love my church. And eventually we'll do the sign for family. So you could put family in there too. And then I love my friends. I love my friends. Yep. Good. All right. Then you've got, now I stuck with the name of my church in there just because I created this when I was doing one of my in-person classes at the church. You know, my church is Mount Pleasant Church. So you can stick in whatever your church is, or if you want to talk about something else, you know, or just put in whatever word, or no, we don't have the word C, never mind. Anyways, we'll just go with it. So my church is Mount Pleasant. So you can do my church, and then you have to spell it. So you've got Mount, M-O. And what you want to do when you're trying to spell something is you want to say the word instead of going M-O-U-N-T, you want to do Mount. It'll kind of make you go faster eventually, but it'll eventually become smoother than just doing, you know, sometimes you can get kind of choppy with when you're spelling it while you're spelling it on your hand. So, all right, and then we got pleasant. So we got pleasant. So we got pleasant. And then we've got church again. And that even you could spell, you know, church. You could spell that. And then I have kind of created a sign because this is a sign for mountain. So like you're taking a right-hander's this is a sign for rock. Okay. You have to be careful. It can mean a lot of different things. Anyways, we're going to go with rock or stone. Okay, and then you're going up like you're going up the mountain. So you've got a mount. And if you're doing it left-handed, your left hand is going to hit the top. And you're going to just do it one time and go up. And you can even just do like that, is mountain. All right, so that's mount. And then how I've learned pleasant was you kind of wiggle your fingers like you're making a smiley face. Pleasant, pleasant. So you're just wiggling your fingers at your chin and go up. So pleasant. And you could probably put happy with it. You know, you could, but that's what I learned. So I do, when I'm signing, you know, welcome to Mount Pleasant Church is what I do, is Mount Pleasant Church. All right, and then my church is in Thomasville. Okay, so we don't have the word is, we don't have, no, we do have the word is. We don't have the word in. All right, so we've got, my church is in Thomasville. So my church is, sorry, I just automatically do it. In, you're like taking something and you're putting it in. But we could spell it because I forgot we don't have, it's like I just automatically do it. Okay, so in or in. And then there again, you got to spell Thomasville. Now, I do believe they probably do like a little T, because if you do, this is the sign for toilet, and it's also the sign for potty and bathroom and all that. But I think it's also the sign for Thomasville that I've seen. I don't think they do like that. I'm pretty sure it's Thomasville. But anyways, we're going to spell it instead. So we got Thomasville. So we got Miss, and then Ville. And you can do LL, or you can just slide it. I always like just sliding it just because it looks a little bit smoother. You know, that's how I like doing it. All right. And then you could change that. You can make it high point, which I think they just do HP for high point. And it's, you know, just like a G, like the letter, like the color green for Greensboro. I've never seen for Lexington, but I would assume that it's like you take an L and do Lexington. That's how I would assume, but I don't know that for sure. All right. And then my friends love my church. So my friends love my church. All right. And then my name is. So we could go around and spell everybody's name. I think we did that last week. So we've got my name is, and then y'all go ahead and spell your own name. So we've got like Rose, and then we've got Julie, and we've got Amber, and we've got Linda. Let's see, I don't know if I already said Amy. And then we've got Paula, and there's Christy. And I don't know if I already did Linda. I feel like I already did, but I can't remember. And then we've got Lynn. Oh goodness, wait, I've got 4 chats on here. Uh-oh. I don't know how to get the other chats.
It was Yvette said she
was it
pick up her daughter.
Yes, very good. Thank you. There I said, I was like, oh gosh, I haven't ever checked the chat before, so I'm not used to that. All right, so those are the signs I have for this week. So what, do y'all want to do anything else for the last 20 minutes, or do y'all want to end it? What do y'all want to do? Do you want me to come up with some crazy sentences? What do y'all think? Is there anything y'all have questions on or anything like that? I know those are pretty straightforward. Trying to think. You know, so something, like I said, what you want to do is go, I mean, that's a really good a good list that you can practice spelling to get faster, to make sure you're accurate. And you can spell all the words. You can spell like every single word on the page. I mean, you could just start at the top and go with sign, and then language, and then you can do class, week 2. Yeah, I mean, you could just go through the whole page and spell it. And then And then if you're really crazy and you really want to practice, you could even go through and read the sentences, the descriptions that they give under there, and you could spell all that. I like to sometimes, while I'm like driving down the road and listening in the car to a song, I might just sit there and sign, and just spell something. Or while I'm just sitting watching TV or something, you can sit there and spell. And you could challenge yourself and spell, with both hands. That way, you kind of are getting the other one limber. It's kind of like, when you're just working out this one arm and you don't do anything to this one, well, this one's not going to be as strong as this one. So you could, challenge yourself to sign with both. You could just go through the alphabet, and do it. This is really crazy, but I don't go to church with anybody here, but I've got just an amazing preacher. He's hysterical. He has ADD, and he will very honestly tell you that his mind just goes, he's all over the place, but he's awesome. And he always comes back to what the point was. He doesn't just get lost and go down a rabbit hole and stay in that hole. But he will, oh dang, I lost what I was going to say now. See, that's where I get in a rabbit hole, and then I can't get myself back out. So like, oh shoot, what was it I was saying? Oh, I know what it was. Okay, so when I first started interpreting, he would just throw in crazy words. Like if I was standing up, because typically I'm sitting down, but if I was standing up at the beginning and welcoming everybody, he would just throw something crazy in there just to see what's that sign. And he would turn his head just to look at me. And our youth pastor was the same way. He said something or another spaghetti hair, so I was having to sign spaghetti hair. And I'm like, really? So I was waiting for them to throw supercalifragilisticexpialidocious to me. And I was like, I better be ready, because I wouldn't put it past either one of them to throw that at me. So all the time I would lay in bed, spelling it with both hands, going through supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, thinking that it's coming. It still has not. I'm amazed after 2 years that they have not said that. But that's a good one, that, because I would start and I would get like here, and I'd do like an I instead of an A. And I was like, nope, start again, until, I got it where it went through smoothly. And then I started with the other hand. I was like, all right, let's do it on both hands, just to kind of get both sides of the brain going. So that's a good one. That's a really good one to just practice. Not only do you have to figure out what in the world letters come, because I've had people say, how do you even know how to spell that? I'm like, I was a nerd. I loved spelling. But, you can always write it out, the whole word supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and then go through and spell the whole thing. So anyway, so some craziness that happens in my little world. But all right, does anybody have any questions about anything? Any books? I know someone was asking me to make sure that they had the book list that I gave. And I didn't do it like a traditional, like how you have to document stuff for like a paper that you write, so like I didn't put what year it was or anything like that. So if y'all need anything, or if you're wondering, or you want to invest in a book or something, feel free to just ask me, and I can, I can screenshot, I can send whatever to y'all and give you whatever information you need. And if there's things you come up with during the week that you're like, I don't know about this, or what did you say about that, you can email me, or remember, you can message me on Facebook. Either way, feel free to hop on there, and whatever is, that's a good way too. So, all right, well, I guess, let me look at the paper I've got for next week. I know next week I have a bunch more. See this one, okay, I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but you can see, like, and I don't know that you can see it real clearly. Like, here's one that has like several words. It has can, could, possible, and able all listed there with it. It's got little slashes so that you can, it matches with the sign page that tells you, all the different words. Like I said, I don't know why I didn't do that this week, so I need to go in and correct that. So, it's got sick, illness, and disease, sit and chair, we and us and our, your, where, what, bathroom. There's bathroom. All different ways to do bathroom. Amber, you got a cutie pie sitting there with you.
He wanted to show y'all something.
Oh, show us, please, Mr. Bobcat.
Go ahead.
What you got?
I know how to spell my name in sign language.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, let's see if we can figure it out. All right, go kind of slow so everyone can see if they can figure it out. And then you can do it super fast for us, how you normally do it at regular speed. All right.
Okay.
Well, you're gonna have to go back and do it again because I'm like, oh.
It's 3. He did a sentence for you.
Oh, okay. That's why I was like, wait a minute. I was like, because he started with the I, so I'm like, okay, Isaac, Isaiah, and I was like, oh no, he didn't go. All right, so hit us again with it. Hit us again with it.
Do it again. How you spelled
I am Wyatt.
Wyatt.
Yes,
Yeah.
Wyatt. Because see, he started with the W, and I saw
I am.
William, and I was like, nope, he didn't do William. I was like, what did he do? See, it's a good challenge. Wyatt, what you can do with your mom is you can, if you know the alphabet, you can spell words and see if she can figure them out.
He's been helping me.
That's awesome. You are doing a fabulous job, man. We need to sign you up as an interpreter in the future, man. You got it. You got it.
Good job, Wyatt.
It's one thing to do it yourself, but then to watch someone else and like read it, it's using a different part of your brain. And that takes a while. Like I had to have him do it, 2 times. And I was like, huh. And it took me a second to go, oh, that's right. Wyatt. Okay. Because my brain wanted to say William, and I was like, no, he did not do an I.
Which is funny. That's his first name. William is his first name.
Oh, how about that? That's like my brother. His first name is Arthur, but he gets called Alan because that's his middle name. And my dad's name is Arthur. So, yeah. That's really cool. So you go to Briar Creek? No?
Pilot.
No, he goes to Pilot. He played basketball for the Bobcats.
Okay,
Yay,
that's what
Pilot.
I was like. Okay, I was confused there. I was like, oh, is Pilot the Bob? No.
No, are they still the Red
Pilot.
Raiders?
Yes, they're still the Red Raiders.
Good.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't remember what their mascot was. I could not remember. Very good. My boys went to Fairgrove.
Yeah,
So.
my boys went to Pilot. Yeah, long ago, but
I know, mine too.
Well, I have a senior, and she did Fairgrove and then Pilot.
Yeah.
So now she's a senior at East Davison. So.
Oh,
Yay.
but who's your daughter? Because my son's a senior at East.
Her name's Desiree.
That's where I know you from. That's where we know each other from. Because I was like,
She's changed her last name now, so she goes.
Okay, yes. Because she and Jake were probably, I think they were in like kindergarten or first grade together.
Yes, at Fairgrove, yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness, small world. So, but now what was her last name that she was going by?
Bryles.
That's what I was thinking. Because I was like, well, it's not Jenkins. I'm pretty sure it was Bryles. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. These kiddos, they're just growing up too fast. That was a sweet class that they're in. Sweet group.
Yes.
So, very good. And Wyatt, how old are you?
How old are you?
You going to spell it for us, Wyatt?
9.5.
9.5.
9.5. So you can do 9 is just like an F, but you're just touching your fingers, kind of like you're using tweezers. 9, and then a half is just like how you do a fraction. It's 1, and then you put a 2 under it. 1.5. So you could sign I am 9.5. So you could do that, or you could spell it. You could spell the whole sentence and totally blow everybody's mind away.
I don't know if I can spell the sentence.
Sure you could. Sure you could. You just spelled I am Wyatt. You could spell I am 9.5. It would be a good spelling challenge.
I might have to take some practice on that.
Well, that would be, hey, practice makes perfect. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, I will post, I'll do the video. I'm not going to say what day because this week's I've had to like be off my foot again and trying to get the swelling to go down. And it's been just like it's been like 6 weeks. Shouldn't it be gone? But if you don't stay off your foot, it's not going to get better. So, so that's what took me so long to get the video done. So anyway, so hopefully I'll be able to get that done pretty quickly this week, and then I'll scan them in and post them along with it. I wonder if there's a way, I could probably even put it all on the YouTube channel, but I'll probably still do it the way I have been doing it. That way it comes to you so you can just print it off.
Okay.
That'll make it easier. So, and everyone's been okay with them coming through like that, and you haven't had any problems?
No, no problems.
Okay, because when I sent it through the first time of all the interesting facts, I can't remember who it was saying that they printed it off and it was coming up really wacky. It wasn't printing out right. So that's why I just I scanned it instead of doing it from my Word document that I created it on. So, all right, so we'll do that. So we will see everybody at the same time next week. Let's see, I think Donna just said that she is going to go back and see what else she missed. Oh, Donna was the one with the wacky print. Okay, I couldn't remember who it was. I just remember someone saying, I was like, oh, I'm so glad you did let me know that, because then I could redo it again. So, all right. Well, everybody have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and be safe and watch out for all this crazy rain that we're getting. And we will see you then next week. All right. Love you guys.
Love you too. Thanks, Stephanie, so much.
You're welcome. You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
If I can help out, just let me know.
Okay, see you next week.
All right. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.